Hey everybody, how's it going? Like Butter here, and my lord, has it been a crazy weekend while I was gone. I was home visiting family for the last like 3 to 4 days, and the division has been growing immensely while I was gone, which is pretty insane. Like, I know it was growing pretty drastically before I left, but this past weekend has really been huge for the division. And I want to talk about my thoughts and opinions on like why I think the division is doing so well now over time, as opposed to how it was doing a couple months ago. I mean, the obvious answer is the game is much better now than it was with all the fixes and balancing changes. But what's the real reason behind why the game is growing so quickly? Now, I made this video way back in August called A Huge Step in the Right Direction. Now, I'll put this link in the description below if you want to see what my opinions were way back in August. This is when they first announced that there was going to be DLC pushed back until later in the year so that they can work on the core changes and core balances of the game. And a lot of people were upset. If you go through the comment section of the video, it's actually insane how many people were just angry that the DLC was getting pushed back. But I absolutely knew that them pushing DLC back was the best decision this company could have ever made with the division. And it is completely restored the fan base that the division once had. The problem was, a lot of people left this game because either they ran out of things to do, they couldn't loot because the grinding was too heavy, the bugs and exploits were just out of control. When the first incursion dropped and everyone was glitching through the wall and just killing the APC instead of doing the incursion, this was so bad for the game because everyone was getting loot by exploits. You know, you had Bullet King, you had all these other problems that the team was running into, and I think a huge problem with that is because if you remember the scramble that this team had to do just to get this game out, I mean, it got delayed from 2014 to 2015 to 2016. You got to remember that these open world games, especially when it's built on an engine made just specifically for this game, you're going to run into a lot of problems. And I think what ended up happening is they focused mostly on the 1 to 30 experience and really didn't think about the end game. And that, you know, in recent years, that was kind of Ubisoft's like mindset when it came to games. Let's give people a good experience for a month or two and then kind of just leave the game, you know, and let it just die, and we'll make a new one. Well, Ubisoft has been trying this new strategy when it comes to building games, and I think it's really working. And you got to look at games like League of Legends or CSGO or Hearthstone, all these games that continuously are getting more and more popular over time because they're adding content, they're making fixes, they're balancing things, they're you know, saving tons of money by not having to, you know, pay all these companies to build a new title just because they're working on a game that's already built, something that's already there. And I think they took, you know, what other companies were doing and they're starting to apply it to their games now. You can see it with Rainbow Six Siege, you're now seeing it with the Division, and I'm assuming you're going to be seeing it with Wildlands, where instead of just abandoning a game like a month after release, they're doing the complete opposite. They're working even harder to make sure that the game hits its full potential. And this is why the Division is now just as popular as it was when it launched, which is crazy. Ubisoft came out recently and said that there are as many players playing now as there was at the launch of the game, which absolutely blows my mind. And I knew that this was going to happen because the problem with the game wasn't the game itself. The idea of an open world looter shooter, you know, survival style game where you have PvP and PvE content was a fantastic idea. And I don't think there's too many AAA titles out there that actually tried to, you know, step into this genre of gaming, which is getting popular over time now. Like, you looked at Destiny, and like Destiny had the same problems. And I remember this one person that came in my stream, I'd say like maybe back in April or May. And this is when the game was first starting to have a lot of problems. And Unfortunately, I don't remember his name, but he was 100% on point. He said, Destiny went through the same growing pains as this game. This game will be fine in the future. And although I knew that, to hear someone else say that, even when the game was so down and everyone was kind of hating on it, it was pretty cool because that person was 100% correct. Destiny went through the same issues as The Division. If you remember, like the loot cave problem and the lack of content when the game came out. And then the first 2 or 3 DLCs for Destiny were absolutely atrocious, where they barely brought any new content. And then you had Taken King, which completely just revamped and rechanged the whole way that you envisioned how Destiny was. And I knew The Division was going to have a similar path. It just took the devs to kind of step back and realize that this game needs some major changes. There needs to be changes made soon, and the fact that they took that into their own hands, completely rebalanced the game, I think it's pretty amazing. The idea of the public test server where thousands and thousands of players could test the game before it got released to the public has helped tremendously. The fact that the community can give feedback before the patch is even out allows the developers to have enough time to make those changes. Listening to the community and being transparent has helped this game so much. I want to put a screenshot up here on video showing you guys how many people are playing on Steam right now. Now, you got to remember, this is Steam only. This doesn't count people who just bought the game on Uplay, like most people do that have PCs, because, you know, you can buy games off of like CD keys or like any of those websites and get them really cheap just for a key. And there are over 20,000 people playing this game just on Steam alone. I can't imagine how much it is on console now. 1.5 dropped today for PS4, which is super awesome. I hope you guys are enjoying that, going for the new gear and all that good stuff. Another huge thing is that there's this time frame where Destiny isn't really getting any new content, and a lot of Destiny streamers and YouTubers are getting bored of the game. So you're going to see a lot of those players coming over to The Division as well. So the game is just going to grow and grow and grow, and I'm so happy and so proud of everyone who stuck by this game's side. Even if you didn't, we're glad to have you back, and we're happy that this game is going in the correct direction. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to drop the video a like. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good day, everybody.